Morning, guys. Here for a world famous pep talk. Probably not that world famous, but we're here anyway. Yesterday we were talking in the cauldron about how sometimes you can go through these pockets of darkness or really low times when maybe you're not getting as many clients as you would usually get. Breakups happen, redundancies, plans falling through, lockdown shit happening, and just all these things that happen in the world that are often quite out of our control. And a lot of the time when we decide to go down a personal development route or a spiritual route, we're wanting to enlighten ourselves, to be open up to more, to becoming a new version, a better version of ourselves, more improved version of ourselves. There's going to be times when things go to shit hits the fan. It's an inevitable part of this process, and it's why a lot of people don't do this work. It's why a lot of people stay in the 9 to 5 that bring them no joy. It's why people don't make the move, why they don't leave a relationship, why they don't, because on the other side of that is amazing, but the in-between phase is really icky and really shit. And what I find a lot is people talking about manifestation and wanting to bring in their biggest, best, amazing lives, and they don't talk about actually, as I said, the inevitable shit hitting the fan stage. Because if you're wanting to call in, say, new friends, then you may need to break up with old friends who no longer suit the life that you want to live. If you want to call in a new job, you're going to have to leave the job that you're in and sit in that discomfort of finding the new one. If you want to break through a financial ceiling and earn a certain amount of money, that could cause anxiousness or distrust or a fucking plethora of feelings for you and your partner or your family or anything. So whenever we want to become bigger versions of ourselves, there's always this period of grief where we have to lose an old version of ourselves and work through to this new version. And it can feel really fucking shit. And often it does feel really shit. Coming from someone who's left a long-term relationship, someone who's moved overseas, somebody who has left their full-time job to pursue their own job, I'm telling you right now that all of these amazing things that you see on the internet of like, wow, they're living their dream life, came with a shit period before it. But it's not all doom and gloom. When you get to the other side, when eventually, and there's no timeline, right? It takes X amount of days to feel this way again, or it gets X amount of days to grieve the lost version of yourself. But when you do eventually get there, the payoff is so fucking worth it. If you have had the call or the pull or the drive or the passion to do something that really means something to you, you can ignore that for the rest of your life, and that's totally fine too. And a lot of people do cruise there and they're happy there. And I would argue sometimes when I'm in the pits of shit, that ignorance is bliss. And sometimes I wish that I was on this path and could just blissfully just do things just by like a stock standard. But if you want to go against the status quo and you want to do something different with your life, you don't want to get married and have the kids and buy the house, you want to travel the world for the rest of your life, you don't want to stay in a relationship, you don't want to stay in a job that fucking sucks your soul dry, then you're going to go through this shifting of grief and this shifting of gross feeling, because nothing worth having ever comes easy. Nothing worth having ever comes easy, because when you get to the other side, after all of the shit, it's so much more worth. About a time when you've been offered something for free, how much did you value that free thing? Probably not a lot. Whether it's a free workshop or a call or you receive something in the mail, you don't value it. You have no value to it. But when you have to work for something, when you invest in something, either time, money, energy, effort, the payoff is always so much more worth it, because you put something into it and you received back from it. So we have to do work. We need to be challenged. Life would be so fucking boring if we weren't challenged. Now, this is not saying anything around mental health or any like full-on trauma. You guys know that I'm not talking about that. This is around falling into little pockets of like, fuck, this is hard, this is difficult, I'm not getting clients, the breakup is fucking ruining me, this feels like shit, I have to move houses, and we go through these phases of really, really difficult periods of time. But in those moments, I remember I'm following my call, I'm following the passion, the drive. The universe needs to clear and make space for me to bring these things to fruition. And I know at the end of the day that this will pass. This feeling of discomfort will always pass. Nothing in your life is permanent, the good and the bad, nothing is permanent. So if you are currently in a position where you're like, this is shit, I'm really, really struggling, remind yourself that this too shall pass, nothing is permanent. And instead of getting too caught up, and again, not talking about mental health stuff, but if you're finding you're getting too caught up in this pit of despair where you're like, nothing is working out, everything is going to shit, take your emotion out of it for a second and look at it from like an outside perspective and go, what am I being taught right now? What opportunities for growth are here? What do I need to learn here? Is this a repeat pattern? Is there something that I'm not learning that I need to get through? Or is it simply, I just need to ride this out knowing that eventually it will pass, and try and find the good out of this, because there is always good and bad. There's always yin and yang. Everything has both sides of the coin. So how can you look at this moment as an opportunity for growth, as an opportunity for accepting that challenge and knowing that you will get to the other side of this eventually. I promise you will get to the other side of this eventually, and the payoff on the other side will be so fucking worth it. I promise you.